Hello, UBTubers, and welcome back to my craft room and Paper Crafts by Cindy Ellen. Today is indeed Philosophical Thursday, so here we are. Did you like my new sign? Did you like my new sign? Yeah, I like my new sign too. This is being posted late because I've been thinking about this all day and how am I going to say this in a way that you can all hear this. So I'm just going to tell the stories. So on Monday night, I got to meet with my friend Zan and my friends Corey and Tim. You may know Corey and Tim. Corey is Corey Wiskman. Corin Wiskman. She has her own channel here on Facebook. And Zan is a friend of mine from here in Orlando. And she is also a card maker. She works for Whimsy Stamps, and she also used to work for the U.S. Tennis Association. And she and I met a long time, oh my God, I think it's 2, maybe 3 years ago now, at the one of the stamping expos. I don't know what it was, but the cool thing is that we just met, connected, liked each other. And that's how the craft industry works. She's been around for 20 years. I've been crafting for that long, but I just get to meet her. So as we're sitting at dinner at Planet Hollywood, and because we're all Disney nuts and we're all just sort of sitting around having a good time, we got talking about, the only way to think about it is be careful what you wish for. We got talking about politics in the crafting world. And we got talking about politics everywhere. And what that means is 2 of the 3 of us had worked for Disney. 2 of the 3 of us had worked on design teams in the crafting industry. 2 of the 3 of us have YouTube channels. 2 of the 3 of us had our spouses there. And none of those 2 of 3 of us were the same in any of those given situations. So there we were, a group of women, all in the same decade of life. And frankly, the 2 spouses were chitter-chattering about business, and the 3 women were talking about all these things. And what it came down to is, how do we say to people, be careful what you wish for? Be careful what you wish for. So 10 years ago, I was a happy, healthy 15 years ago. 15 years ago, I was a happy, healthy 40-year-old. And I was running marathons. I was doing long backpacking trips on the AT, the Appalachian Trail. I was hiking the Long Trail with my friend Cindy. I had actually just retired as assistant director of a facility for adolescents. I was senior clinician at a facility, an eating disorders facility. My friend Sue had asked me if I would help her open an outpatient facility for eating disorders and addictions. We were having a great time. I didn't think there was anything wrong in the world. My bucket list included, when I retired, I was gonna hike the AT, I was gonna live in a tin can and work for a big mouse. Now, what that meant was, when I retired, I was going to live in an RV. My husband and I were gonna travel the country, and we were gonna base ourselves out of Orlando, and I was gonna go to work for Walt Disney World. I loved Disney World forever, for my entire life. I'm 15 years ago was literally 2002. It was literally 2 years. We had gotten married at Disney. We were DVC members. We were making a 6-figure income. Nothing could possibly go wrong. And then I got mysteriously sick. And my husband said, we'd better start fulfilling some of these dreams before things get crazy. So we bought an RV. I was forced to retire because I was getting lots of migraines. I was having lots of seizures. And so we bought an RV. We could do that. We were in that position. We bought an RV and we moved down to Florida as our home base. I got a job at Disney World. And be careful what you pray for. I knew a month after we had bought the RV that I hated it. I hated it. Can you live in a tiny home? Yes, I can. Do I want to live in a tiny home? Absolutely bloody not. There's no room to craft in a tiny home. I am not an extrovert, and I hate having to make friends all the time. And basically, when you live in a tiny home that's an RV, you have to move at least every 3 weeks, if not every 2 weeks, which means you're constantly meeting new people and having to be outgoing and friendly. And while you see this, I control this. I control when I do this. Yeah, I do. I really do. And I only have to do this in tiny little chunks. I do. You don't do that in a trailer park, which is what an RV resort is. It's a trailer park. It's what it is. It's a trailer park for people with lots of money and people with no money. At Disney, one of the things you will notice is they don't let small children back behind the scenes. Why? Well, because making magic is a dirty job. It's hard. It takes a lot of physical labor. I have never worked that hard in my entire life. Physically. Never done it. And while the mouse is magical, sometimes he's a rat to work for. That's all I'm going to say, and I'm really glad I was a member of the union. I made lots of friends at Disney. I still love Disney. Not sure I want to work for him again. Just remember that. And we came down to that. I'm not going to make the same mistake. I don't want to be on a design team. I do not want to be beholden to someone. I don't. Would I guest design for someone? Maybe. Do I want to be on a design team? Do I want to have to say, hey, give me your product and I will be your commercial for that? Because that's what it means to be on a design team. When push comes to shove, you are getting product in exchange for saying, buy this product, look at all the fun things you can do with it. It's being a commercial. It's being at their beck and call. It's doing it on their timetable. And it's saying, I love this the best. It's using their ink, their dyes, their stamps, theirs exclusively. They don't do it in a mean way. It's not to be mean or anything. But they're a business. Never forget that. They're a business. And if you're on their design team, they are buying your loyalty with product. It's reality. You know, and people will say, Disney can't make you not have a hair color, not have this, not do that. Oh, yes, they can. They're a private company. And one of the things about Disney is that people who have worked for Disney, when we start talking about Disney, we all revert to the same physical body stance, the same posture, the same voice. All of us still point in the same way. And when we're among ourselves, we tell the same stories. People get on Disney property and guests, they are our guests. I adored making magic. I adored the ability to make magic. And a lot of it was a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. And some of it was really hard. I regularly got sworn at. I regularly got spit on. I regularly got held accountable for things that I had no power over. Remember that. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. Whether it's in the crafting world, in your work world, in your work life. Even as a senior clinician, there were things that I got held accountable for that were not my fault and I had no control over. There are a lot of things like that, you know? So be careful what you wish for. And when you see things on the internet, in the real world, when somebody says, look at this person, whether it's in the Democratic National Convention, the Republican National Convention, look for the story behind the story. There is always a story behind the story. Always. Always. This one's long. I hope you made it to the end. I don't know how to tell you all of this without saying, you know what? I never expected to be 57 years old and have my job be sitting around playing with paper and trying to get my feet to work. You know, that was not what I expected it to be. But here we are. It's what it is. And may your weekend be wonderful. May your life be grand. And I'll see you next time. Bye.